I started recording, so I should be able to figure this out. There it is. Well, let's give this a shot, guys.
Hey everyone, I'm Brad from Calgary.
This is Sean from Cambridge, Ontario.
I'm Terry from Cornwall, Ontario.
Hey, this is Larry from Pitt Meadows, British Columbia, and you're listening to the Towing Life Podcast.
Welcome to the Towing Life Podcast, where the ditches are deep, the trucks are loaded, but the drivers are not. I am your host, TowManG, and as usual, I am joined by my... Wait a second. There's no one else here. It's just me. If you have any subjects, questions, comments, anything like that you want covered on the show, you can let us know at thetowinglife@gmail.com or by searching the Towing Life Podcast on Facebook. You can also find us at www.towinglife.ca. Your input and experiences are always welcomed. Also, we have added a new way to reach us. You can call us at 249-666-2209. You follow the prompts and we can play your message on the show. This episode is a little bit different than previous episodes that you would be used to, and hopefully this is not going to be a new norm. PlainGuy is real busy right now. As some of you may know, he is continually switching filming areas or locations. If you guys are watched on the video side, you probably see that in the background. And if you're seeing in the audio side or listening on the audio side, you've probably heard me make a comment about it before. So PlainGuy is painting right now. Yeah, painting. He doesn't seem to be a painter to me. He does not enjoy painting. So he's loving life right now. If you guys are watching on the video side of things, you'd be like, Towman, why are you wearing sunglasses? To be honest with you, I'm wearing sunglasses because I've been in quarantine for the last 2 weeks. The girlfriend messaged me last Friday saying one of my coworkers tested positive. Can I come and quarantine at your place because where she's staying right now, she's in the middle of building a house. That's a long story. Where she's staying right now, it's with her sister, and she's got a little baby, so they didn't want her staying there. And I was like, sure, fine, whatever. Come on over. So she came over. Everything was all fine, all hunky-dory. We've had weird COVID scares like that before. Didn't really bother me much. Saturday was fine. Sunday, she started feeling pretty ill. Monday, I was supposed to go to work. Didn't end up going to work because she was really bad. I was like, well, if she's really bad and if she's sick, I might be sick or I might carry something, so I should just stay at home. So we did very few things. I went out and I bought some rapid COVID tests, and her symptoms were a headache. She had a headache for 5 days straight. She had a fever for 5 days straight. Very low energy and just very, it's a shitty time. So that happened, and then I was like, okay, so on top of this, my truck is still broken. It's still sitting at the shop. I haven't been able to go and get it yet. So it's been this whole week. My truck's been sitting at the shop for at least a full week now, waiting for me to pick it up. So I don't have my truck here. So I think it was like Friday. She's still feeling pretty shitty. So I'm like, okay, even if I do feel okay to go to work, she's got to feel okay enough to drive me there for 7 o'clock in the morning because I work about 45 minutes away. So Friday, I messaged my work and I was like, I'll try to come in on Saturday to work. And Saturday rolled around and a fever, bed sweats, headache, hence the sunglasses. Coming back to the sunglasses. I've got such a bad headache. I've had a headache now for today's Sunday that I'm recording this. We've been PlainGuy and myself have been trying to sit down for the last 4 days, trying to record everything, and he's gotten called away just before we're about to sit down. He's been, I've felt like a bag of shit. So it's just been, 6 of one, half a dozen the other. So I do apologize for this little bit more weird, off the cusp, not super energetic. Hopefully it's still got a little bit of comedic value. Please laugh at me. Laugh at my misfortune. That's what I'm here for. Yeah, this is I want to call this my one night stand podcast. I should have brought a nightstand in here with me. That would have been a funny joke. But it is the busy season. Being Sunday, apparently we're going to get hit by a pretty good storm tonight into tomorrow, which will be yesterday for you guys listening to this. If you're listening to it when it comes out on Tuesday, apparently we're getting hit with a pretty good storm that yesterday. Yeah, 2 to 3 centimeters an hour for almost 24 hours in some spots. So that'll be pretty good. Pretty good, pretty bad. With my work right now, we are very short staffed, so it makes me feel like an absolute bitch just sitting at home, not doing fuck all. But I was like, yeah, I'm going to go to work on Saturday. And Saturday rolled around and I could barely get myself out of bed. And I was like, oh no. I don't think I'll be able to go to work. And I had a shower Saturday. And I was like, oh, I'm not doing too bad. And I barely had enough strength to squeeze my shampoo out of the bottle. I was like, oh boy. Yeah, I would have never been able to lift dollies on or off trucks in minus 30 degree. Minus 30, yeah. Minus 30. So it's definitely a fun time to be around. Would definitely be I missed out on a good week's worth of work. We had that real cold snap beginning of last week. Lots of boosts, lots of wind chouts, that kind of stuff that I missed out on. Which is, yeah, if you do roadsides and you get those real busy days where you're just running around doing boost after boost after boost, the occasional unlock and local tow, whatever the case may be, feels like, oh no, it's my starter. It's like, it's the coldest day of the year. Let me try a boost. And 9 times out of 10, you get their car going. They're like, go get yourself a battery. I would call before you just go over to the Canadian Tire to make sure they have a battery available, because everyone else I've met today is doing the exact same thing. And I tell that to a lot of people, and a lot of people don't understand that. Oh, I'm just going to drive over. I was like, call first, because that Canadian Tire might not be able to help you. And hopefully you didn't shut your car off in the parking lot. So it is our busy season. This snowstorm that's coming, or is here now, when you're listening to this, hopefully you guys are making it through. Hopefully you guys are staying safe through it all. Hopefully you're out there making money and staying safe, which is the main thing. I am sitting at home, sick, loving life. I'm not much of a napper, but I've been napping a fair bit. Yeah, I can't say I really enjoy napping. staying at home and literally doing nothing sucks. I haven't even been able to play any video games. I do game a fair bit. I haven't been able to do any of that because gaming with sunglasses on just isn't a real thing. Focusing on a computer screen just doesn't help my head at all. Just sitting here kind of sucks, to be honest with you guys. But I gotta provide some sort of a podcast for you guys to listen to. PlainGuy's busy. He can't be here, unfortunately. So here's a question for you light and medium duty guys out there. Hopefully you've driven both and operated both. What do you prefer? Do you prefer Sentry or Vulcan Wrecker? I've ran Sentry and I've ran Vulcan. To be 100% honest with you guys, when I was trained, when PlainGuy trained me, I was running a Sentry Wrecker with basket straps. And I absolutely loved the basket straps. Now, I know guys under the radar that have ran the Sentry Wreckers that need basket straps, and they've never used the basket straps. Now, this can also be going back a little bit where people just didn't care quite as much. Nowadays, I am really hoping, if you are running a wrecker that requires the basket straps, that you're using the basket straps. Because these basket straps are pretty much idiot-proof. Idiot-proof the world, as they are. You pick up the car, you tilt up, you raise it up, you put these basket straps on, you snug the chain down, and you throw your safety chains on, and away you go. Now, technically, you've got your two forms of securement because you're hooked onto your basket straps, one on each tire. You only technically need one safety chain, which is nice if you want to be lazy, and I like to be lazy. That's where the one chain wonder thing comes in, right? That was the old nickname that I had for PlainGuy. He was still being completely legal. It was just the one chain. So that was nice. Another thing about the Sentries is they had a lot more oil pan clearance. And so you didn't have to worry about that as much. You didn't have the protrusion. Like, the wheel lift was pretty well flat at the end. It didn't bubble out like the Vulcan wheel lifts do. Right there at the pivot pin. So that was nice. You didn't have to worry about the oil pans quite as much. And if you're real lazy, once you drop the car off and you suck the wheel lift in, you couldn't make enough clearance to come up out of the bumper. With those Sentry wheel lifts, you had enough downward tilt and down out, like just out, or like down, sorry. So like tilt down and then down. You could pick the back wheels of the wrecker right up off the ground, which comes in real handy in case you get yourself in a precarious position, or if you have a PTO that can only be ran in park. Being able to pick the back wheels of your tow truck right up off the ground and theoretically be able to extend your wheel lift out to push your tow truck forward to get yourself out of a sticky situation, it definitely helps. Definitely helps. But the Vulcans, I find that the wheel lifts are stronger. They can tilt more, like they can physically pick up more, I find, which is awesome. And I also really like how they have the controls separated, where the Sentry has all their the boom controls and the wheel lift controls all down the side of the truck, all in one line. The Vulcan has your winch controls, your boom, like your actual boom, if you have a boom, controls, and then you've got your wheel lift controls right down at the back. And the nice thing is with those is the tilt, the up and down and the in and out are all ran with cable or rods back and forth, which are nice. Just some rods and then a second valve body. So you can get right down, crouch down, and still be able to run the controls and still keep a good eyesight of that vehicle that you're picking up. Downfall to that is your tailpipe normally comes out on the passenger side of your truck right there. So if you are, crouching down to make sure you've got enough clearance on your bumper as you're tilting, you're getting a face full of exhaust, which kind of sucks. But in the wintertime, that exhaust pipe, oh man, in the wintertime, I do almost all my work from the passenger side. Just that nice hot exhaust blowing on your leg kind of warms you up a little bit. Oh, so nice. Just don't keep any stones or anything in your pockets. If you keep anything that can get physically warm in your pockets and you're standing right next to an exhaust pipe for long enough, that could heat up and start melting your clothes. So don't do that. I know when I was a kid, I was working in the garage with my uncle working on our Argo. We had a little propane heater. And it was just the one with like one of the sunflower head heaters. I'd stand beside it, holding a light for my uncle, because that's what you do when you're a kid. You hold the light and you get yelled at for not holding it quite right. And that's what happened a lot. And next thing you know, I was like, ooh, that's a little extra toasty. And I looked down and I had one of the jackets with the pockets here, like just standard pockets in a jacket, I guess. Well, apparently, in my bright idea, I picked up a fairly flat and round rock off the playground when I was at school, and I left it in my pocket. So that thing started to get hot, and it melted my winter jacket. So now I had a nice big brown spot, blackish. It started melting, started burning a little bit. The jacket was pretty much screwed. But I was such a bright kid. I was like, oh no. Well, didn't I try to grab the rock out of it? Yeah, smart. Never once said I was a bright kid. Tried to grab the rock out of my pocket that was literally just set my jacket on fire. So now instead of just, having a burnt jacket, I've got a kind of burnt hand and a burnt jacket and an uncle who's already pissed off because I moved the light and he's got no idea what's going on. So needless to say, I didn't work in the garage very much after that for a couple of months trying to recuperate from that bad experience. But that's another thing is when I'm towing cars and whatnot, you normally get those people that come out and watch and they bring their children out. And if they're in between the ages of, I want to say like 4 and 9, if I'm not in too big of a hurry and it's a safe spot, I'll ask the little kid, do you mind giving me a hand? I don't know if I'm strong enough to lift this car up by myself. And I'll get them to stand on the driver's side of the truck because the passenger side is where the hot exhaust is. So it's got to be in the right spot to where I'm facing the wrong way in the road type thing. So the driver's side of the truck is actually the ditch side of the road or the curb side. And I'll be on the passenger side of the truck and they'll come up and I'll jiggle the tilt up. So I'll say, you see that control? Yeah. Okay, I want you to pull that one up as I'm holding on to it, and they'll tilt that one up. It's like, okay, now I want you to pick it up with this one here, and I'll shake that one, and they'll pick it up. And I always leave my hand on the control just so I can make sure that the rear bumper is not going to hit. And if it is going to, I've got more strength than an 8-year-old to where I can just push that back level or down in case they don't hear me or don't want to stop when I say stop. So it's always like me standing there as a safety net. Yeah, it's cool letting them pick up their parents' car, truck, or whatever it may be. It's another thing if I let them damage their parents' car or truck, because I'm still liable for it. I've never had anything happen like that to where I let someone operate the tow truck and they break something, but I'm there to do a job, and if I let someone else help, even if the parents are like, "Oh, this is so cool," taking pictures, whatever the case may be, 9 times out of 10, the parents real like thank me afterwards, like, "Oh, that's so cool, thank you, thank you." Um, I would much rather do that than get the kids sitting inside the tow truck to take a picture. Why? I don't know. Probably because I'm not the cleanest person. There's dust and stuff around. Sometimes there's garbage sitting on the passenger seat or on the floor, whatever the case may be. I don't smoke, so it's not that. But I know some people that do smoke in the tow truck that I definitely would not want to let a kid sit in, whether that be a passenger or be just for a picture. And I find it funny that so many tow truck drivers smoke in their tow truck. Now, it is a stressful job, and I understand why they smoke. I vape. I used to smoke 2 packs of cigarettes a day when I was a tow truck driver, and I smoked in the tow truck. It's against the law. I know. I've had a boss tell me before, not the company I work with now, he was like, "I don't care. If you get caught, it's your own ticket. You're going to have to pay for it. Hopefully you smarten up after that." And I respected that. That was the best that was like the best answer I could have gotten as a smoker at that time. Don't let me catch you, and don't let anyone else catch you, because it's your own ticket. And it's the same thing as like a cab. Whenever I see a cabbie driving down the road, or anyone driving a cab, whether you have a passenger or not, but you're smoking in that cab, that just leaves a funny taste in my mouth. Funny smell in my nose. Yeah, it's I saw a school bus driver smoking in the school bus once driving down the road, and I was like, wow, that's taking it a little bit too far as I'm sucking back on one driving my tow truck. So I do apologize from the heart of my bottom, that this week's episode's a little off the cusp, and it's just me. Um, I've had to cut and edit this video out a fair bit just to like cut out my coughing fits and that kind of stuff. Which also didn't help us trying to get together to do a video, because if PlainGuy got in at 11, I was already in bed, like 11 at night type thing. So it does kind of suck, but fingers crossed we'll get everything figured out and all sorted for next week. Try to get a video or two ahead type thing. It's just the busy season. It's winter. It's hard to get towers to be able to sit down together. I know I won that do a show without the other co-host. This isn't it. This is not it. I do have a show planned. I haven't I haven't been able to do anything the past week and a bit. I was planning last weekend to go out and get a birthday gift for the girlfriend. Her birthday's tomorrow, so the 17th, which would have been yesterday when you were listening to this. And I don't have a truck, and I'm in quarantine. So I said to her today, I was like, I'm sorry, dear, but I haven't got you anything for your birthday. Well, I did get you that cup for your birthday that you've opened already. And she was like, yeah, the only reason why you gave me that is because you got it for me for Christmas, but it arrived too late. And I was like, yeah, but it's now your birthday gift. So yeah, that's always fun. I haven't been able to go anywhere, do anything, and I just haven't been able to plan anything the past 2 weeks. So there is some pretty big things coming. February is when things are really going to start getting good over here. Some pretty big things for both us and you guys listening. There's going to be some contests, hopefully. Knock on wood. Fingers crossed. There's going to be some good things this year. So I hope you guys are excited for that. I hope you guys are going to tune in next week to where hopefully I can redeem ourselves. It is a lot better with both PlainGuy and myself here than just myself doing a monologue instead of being able to have a conversation back and forth between two people. I think that's a little bit better for both me and the listeners. Let me know down below in the comments. Feel free to send us an email or message us on Facebook, the website, or you can call us at 249-666-2209. And say, yeah, just having TowManG there by himself kind of sucked. You better get PlainGuy back on the show. Or the other way around. If you say, fuck that PlainGuy guy. PlainGuy guy. For myself, on day 2 of day 5, hopefully, of feeling like this, for myself and PlainGuy, I know he feels bad, and I know he wish he could be here doing this show, and I know it's a fairly short show compared to what it normally is, and it's all cut together, and I do apologize about that. But I want to thank you guys for being here, for listening, and for tuning in every week. It means a lot to me and PlainGuy as well. Please don't let this show turn you off the Towing Life podcast. Next week's going to be better. Yeah, it's been a weird couple of weeks. Yeah. So, thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. Hopefully you guys are all staying safe out there. Hopefully you guys had a good snowstorm. Hopefully you guys all stayed safe and made some money. And we'll see you next week. Toodles!